بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة الأبدية على أعدائهم أجمعين إلى قيام يوم الدين. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Inshallah, this is going to be verses of law part 4. So basically we are now doing verses of law part 2. So there's part 3 and part 4. But let's take it today because it is we are on our way to enter the holy month of Ramadan. So this ayat which we are going to discuss is, obviously I have the examples on Sweden, but I'm going to talk first in general, and then we are going to talk about the problems for the northern cities like Canada and Sweden, where we have long days and sometimes we don't have proper FAJR, the northern areas of Canada. So so basically the ayat of today. The ayat of today is Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا, and eat and drink. وَكُلُوا وَاشْرَبُوا حَتَّى يَتَبَيَّنَ لَكُمُ الْخَيْطُ الْأَبْيَضُ, until the white thread appears to you. You can see the white thread. مِنَ الْخَيْطِ الْأَسْوَدِ, from the dark thread, from the black thread. Min al-Fajr, from the dawn time. So that means this could be in the dawn time, this could be in the time of sunset. You know, when we have sunset, also we have like kind of the night is falling, and the day is falling down and down. So there is an edge between day and night. So not from the Maghreb, from the Fajr. So eat and drink. Take your time, eat and drink, until you see with your eyes, it becomes obvious that the band which divides the darkness of the night is going up and the day is starting to rise up. So opposite of sunset. So this band, when it becomes like a band, that is the time of Fajr. So min al-Fajr thumma atimmu as-siyama ila al-layl, then hold your fast, okay, until you have the night, then you break your fast. So hold your fast when you see the bands, dark band and the white band, okay, darkness of the night and the whiteness of the day, darkness of the night and the brightness of the day, okay. So that from the Fajr you stop, and then at the Maghrib you start, you break your fast, ila al-layl. So basically we are this is a long term, so it's not Corona. Alhamdulillah, with your du'as. Or maybe there's Corona, but Allah is fighting that inside my body, my immune system. So inshallah, we pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep us healthy, wealthy, just for the salamat of our iman, and to increase our iman and develop our relations with Allah. Other than that, all this health, wealth, all this is not helpful if it is not going towards our connection with Allah. So our health and our wealth and everything should strengthen our bond with Allah, and to be from those who are shakirin, from those who are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So yes, so now the Quran is defining the edges, the beginning of the fast and the end of the fast. The end of the fast is at night. وَلَا تُبَاشِرُهُنَّ وَأَنْتُمْ عَاكِفُونَ فِي الْمَسَاجِدِ. Now this is the ruling of i'tikaf. That means if you are staying in the masjid with your wife's spouses, then do not come to your spouses. Do not have that private relation inside the masjid. Obviously inside the masjid, having the janaba is haram. So obviously this is like more haram, double. Initially janaba is haram. So if this guy is going to be like, how can these people be with the family in the masajid? If you go to Masjid al-Kufa, if you go to the Masjid al-Sahla, you see there are these miharib, these chambers. These were before rooms. The whole masjid, the wall of the Masjid al-Kufa has rooms. You see Masjid al-Kufa, mihrab of this, we move from place to place to do a'mal. So you see all these are arches around on the wall from inside. These were like chambers, like families would come and do i'tikaf there, and there would be doors before, okay? So you put the door so you can have privacy with your family, with your children inside this masjid. Like 3 days you are going to be you, your wife, your kids. So sometimes people might accidentally do wrong thing if they see the closed environment, and shaitan might come. So Allah says, don't come to them. In your i'tikaf, you are totally isolated. Nowadays, because the masajid, we don't have that setup. So ladies, if they do i'tikaf, they do in their area. Gents, they do in their area. So that is a kind of i'tikaf. Though i'tikaf is not emphasized that much in the school of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam. I did not find any authentic narrations recommending the i'tikaf in the school of Ahlul Bayt. On the contrary, we have to stay in the masjid and sleep in the masjid is makruh. So therefore, but it's for people, they have this aqidah of i'tikaf. They want to dedicate their 3 days. Yes, you can spend time in masjid, but you can come at home, you can go back to the masjid. But if you do i'tikaf, then there are conditions. You have to fast 3 days and this. But so there are rules of i'tikaf. We have rules of i'tikaf. That means it is permissible. But is it highly recommended? I did not find any indication that Ahlul Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, they were encouraging people to do i'tikaf. Authentic narration, no. I mean, there might be some weak narrations, but authentic. But this is our belief that many times when people, they do i'tikaf, they isolate themselves in the masjid for 3 days. Now there are people that are going to bring food for them. There are people that are going to do. So those people who are bringing food for this mu'takif are much better in reward than this mu'takif. There's a hadith of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's a guy who was always in the masjid day and night worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam came in, and they were praising. He said they were praising this guy. Ya Rasulullah, this is mashallah, never leaves the masjid. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked them, who feeds them? Ya Rasulullah, we are feeding them. Poor guy, he can't leave the masjid, so we have to feed them. He said, kullukum afdal minhu, you all are better than him. So these people are greater in thawab. That guy is day and night in the masjid. Come on, go and work, go do some economical al-amal ibadah. Okay, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam kissed the hand of somebody who was working, a labor, you see. So al-amal ibadah, work is ibadah. Day and night you're sitting in the masjid and people are feeding you. What are you? Do you think you are coming closer to Allah? You might not be coming closer to it. Yes, 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, but most of the time, that is not something which is recommended in Islam, and especially in school of Ahlul Bayt, as I mentioned. So when you are doing i'tikaf, these are one of the rules of i'tikaf, that do not come to your spouse, your wife, while you are in the i'tikaf in the masjid. Now, there are some interpretations for this ayat. I'm not going to do this because I'm doing verses of law. Okay, so is this masajid like masajid means literal masjid, or like we are in worship and fasting? Okay, or what? You can go so many probabilities. But at this point in this session, I'm just going to focus on the time of the fast. So the wala tubashiruhunna, do not come to them, and you are isolated in the masjid. You are dedicated. They have dedicated your time to the masjid. Or some say that in general, this is the rule that janaba is forbidden in masjid. So regardless of i'tikaf, here i'tikaf doesn't mean that specific meaning of i'tikaf, 3 days fasting, staying in the masjid. Here i'tikaf means in general, whenever you are in masjid, stay away from janaba. Don't do things like coming to your wife, you see. Why? Allah says, tilka hududullah. Allah has made limits. Okay? فَلَا تَقْرَبُوهَا. Do not cross the limit. Do not. So Allah did not say here, فَلَا تَتَعَدُّوهَا وَمَنْ يَتَعَدَّى, in other ayat. Here Allah says, do not come close to it. That means do ihtiyat, do precaution. Don't let your stance or situation be in a way that you're very close to that had limit and you cross the limit easily. just to keep distance from my limits. I've kept limits, and that's why ihtiyat is some of the things which is very much needed in Islam, to do precaution. So, فَلَا تَقْرَبُوهَا, do not come close to this these limits. تِلْكَ حُدُودُ اللَّهِ. So what are these? We have hududullah here, that eat and drink. Do not eat after the dawn, okay? And do not eat before the sunset. So this is a had also. These are the limits Allah defining in this ayat. So because Allah has mentioned plural, tilka hudud. So this ayat has several limits. So one of the limits is the time of fasting. Another limit is do not come to your wives as spouses and you are in the masjid. Excuse me. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explains, elaborates, makes it clear for you. Yubayyin is bayan. Remember, hatta yatabayyan, until it becomes obvious. And here Allah makes it obvious for you, makes it clear for you. Ayatihi, Allah makes His signs clear for you. Linnasi, for the people. La'allahum yattaqoon. Again, so here also the ayat is taqwa. And we mentioned in our previous session the whole criteria of taqwa, 5 things connected. So this is all like fasting is going to make you close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is going to keep you avoiding displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not doing haram things in the masjid is going to also keep you away from displeasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the whole idea, the theme is how can we become close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, seek His pleasure, stay away from whatever displeases Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the ayat of today. Let's move to the next one. So in this ayat, so basically we have these types of twilight, FAJR. From the scientific point of view, the light which appears before the sunrise and remains after the sunset is known as twilight. Okay, so there are twilight in the Fajr, there are twilight after the sunset, before the sunrise and after the sunrise. So there are 2. Quran says min al Fajr, the twilight from the Fajr time. So in Arabic, the twilight is called ash-shafaq. It is obvious that the light of the morning twilight gradually increases in its brightness to distinguish the various stages of twilight. So the twilight is faded until the sun rises. So the scientists, they have 3 types of twilights. Astronomical twilight. And this is when normally the sun reaches 18 degrees below the horizon. Nautical twilight is when the sun's center is at 12 degrees below the horizon. And the civil twilight occurs when the sun's center is 6 degrees. Now remember, the sun's center, okay, center of the sun is very important, okay? Not the beginning of the entrance of the sun and exiting of the sun. No, when the sun is in the middle of the sun is in that degree. That's the average. So this is the scientific thing. The third twilight is known as civil twilight, which occurs civil twilight is of no use for us, as it is mostly used by civil authorities to decide when the street lights and car headlights are no longer needed. Some scientists have given it the name of headlights twilights, because people, okay, now you turn off your headlights. And nautical twilight is usually basically used by the Navy, by the ships when they sail. So this shows them some direction, or it has something to do with their direction and with their navigation in the twilight. Now, this talk, let us see this talk in this illustration. So basically, in this illustration, if I can make it a bit bigger. Okay. So, this is too big. Okay, let me just stretch this down a bit. Perfect. Okay, so now we have this day. So the sun is setting down, setting down. Look, follow my cursor, okay? The sun is setting down, it is setting down, it is setting down until it reaches the sea level. Once it goes below the sea level, that is the sunset. Okay, now what happens that, let me see. Okay, let me get a round thing. Yes, this one is good. Okay, and it's orange as well. Okay, so let's see that the sun is setting down. So now the center of the sun is where? This is sea level. This is sea level. Okay, now the sun is setting down. The center of the sun is where? On the sea level. Okay, but the sun has not set yet. So please, please, the times which are on the newspaper and the time which are scientists they define, you have, it's not exactly the sunset. Okay, the sun's, to us, the sun has to disappear from the horizon. Remember the center. We mentioned the center. So this is the center of the sun. This badge is good. Let me make it a center of the sun. This yellow is the center of the sun. So scientifically, the sun has set. For Islamically, the sun has not set. Islamically, now the sun has set. Okay, disappearance from the horizon totally. You got this. Okay, you have to understand step by step. Otherwise, this lesson will not be understood. Again, this is the sun setting down, setting down, setting down, below, coming to the horizon. Center of the sun has set. That's the time mostly when you find it on newspaper, because some of our scholars, they went to heights, they checked that the time on the newspaper says the sun is set, but still it was a bit high, and then it goes down. So most of these the websites of astronomical website, they look at the sun. Some websites, they know, look at the sun when the sun totally disappears from the horizon, then, and that's mostly Islamic websites, mostly. But scientifically, because sun is big, they want to say, is this the sunset beginning, or is this, or is this? So they take an average of sunset, which is the center of the sunset. Okay, some scholars, they checked in some of the countries, like in Sweden, in Stockholm, some of the sheikhs, they went and they saw the time of the sunset in the newspaper was, and still a little bit of sun was on the top. So once it goes down, so that is number one. We'll use the sun. Okay, it says heat spray, so it can be sun. So now this is understood that the sun sets below the horizon totally. That time, majority of the maraja, they say it is the sunset, it is the sunset, it is the night. However, there is a weak narration. Okay, there is a weak narration which tells the people to wait until the eastern redness disappears. Okay, eastern redness disappears. Then break your fast and pray Maghrib and Isha. Eastern redness. So why are Shias waiting for like in Gulf countries for 10-12 minutes, and for Africa 10-12 minutes, some places 15 minutes, and in Sweden we have like variances, some places 20 minutes, some places 25, some places 40 minutes, some places 50 minutes after the sunset. Okay, the more we go north, the more we have this eastern redness, and until some points there's no disappearance. The eastern redness is always there. So the sun sets and the sun rises. So these people, they're fasting 23 hours and they don't have eastern redness and disappearance. So in this case, Al-Sistani says that if the eastern redness does not disappear, or it disappears after a long time, okay, that means only small time is left for your salat and iftar, then you neglect the eastern redness, okay? You don't have enough time. But if you have enough time to pray and to Maghrib and Isha and to have your iftar, okay, so then you have to observe that. But Ayatollah Sistani says that I spoke to his son, Sayyid Muhammad Rida, this year. He said, we have ihtiyat wajib. Our followers, they can refer to other maraja who says when the sun sets, they can break their fast. Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Tabatabai al-Hakim, he says that when the sun sets, you can break your fast. Not the scientific sunset, no. Like if you see in your timetable, the sun sets like 6 o'clock, just wait for 5 minutes. Allow this top of the sun to go below. Unless if you know for sure, no, the sun, the top of the sun, your country puts in the newspaper the time, not looking at the center, looking at the head of the sun. Then you can break the fast on that time, referring in your heart to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim, because he's from the A'lams, highly knowledgeable maraja. Majority of the maraja, they are saying ihtiyat wajib. So you can refer to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim Tabatabai in this mas'ala. And we tell the people in Sweden, just refer to them even if you break your fast after because even this eastern redness is not known. Is it eastern redness or is it because the sun here in Sweden in summer doesn't set from the west to check the eastern redness. The eastern never disappears. So we have the sun sets from the northwest. So opposite of northwest is southeast. So is it the southeast? Because that's the most intellectual, making like in scientific direction, that sun sets in front, the eastern redness should go disappear from the back, not from the east. In the east and the west, they stay for a long time. But here, even Ayatollah Sistani son said, no, look at the east. And if it's too long, refer to someone else. So we tell the people, just refer to someone else and don't confuse yourself from the front or from the east and all these kind of confusions which are there. Just because this year I confirmed because there was so many, some scholars, they said this eastern redness in northern regions is the redness opposite of the sunset, which is scientifically makes sense. But since the hadith says east, so scholars, they want to do ihtiyat on the east. So east does not disappear so soon. So basically, people can refer to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim, and after the actual sunset, scientific sunset, wait 5 minutes, and if you know the exact time of when the head of the sun goes down, then you can break your fast at that time. So this is about the sunset issue. Now, let me show you in the illustration. I don't think so. I have taken that illustration, I have taken it out. And the one which shows the sunset, okay, that might be in the next lesson. But I can show you here since we are in this. Now the sun is setting, okay? Let's consider this earth. This is whole earth. You are standing here. Okay, the sun is setting. Now the sun, you cannot see the sun because the earth is spherical. The sun is here. You cannot see. So how will we know? You can look, this is west. You can look at the east. You will see here, like this monogram is the eastern redness. Sun is setting. So you can see if you stretch a line here, though you cannot see the sun, but you can see the Al-Qa'im sign. You can see this monogram. That is the eastern redness. Once it comes on the top, disappears from here, that is the ihtiyat time, you can break your fast. And that is what, from country to country, from place to place, it differs. So again, you are standing here, and then the sun is setting down. You are standing, you cannot see the sun. The sun has disappeared from the eyesight. But still, the sun ray can be manifested on the eastern, it's like a mirror. Like the sign is manifestation of the sun here, a mirror image of the sun's redness. When the sun goes down, the redness goes further up on the top and disappears from the east. That is the ihtiyati time. Now that narration is weak. So that is why ulamas, they don't give fatwa on that. And that is why some ulamas, they say ihtiyati wajib, like Sayyid al-Khuy, Sayyid al-Sistani. Some ulamas, they say ihtiyati istihbabi, like Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim, Sayyid Muhammad al-Rawhani. There are top maraja, they said, you don't have to wait. It's not ihtiyati wajib. So one can refer to this, in this issue, this mas'ala, that I'm going to just, and you can all break your fast at that time and offer Salat al-Maghrib al-Isha at that time. Last year in Stockholm, I was, and it was so long time. So we just did our Maghrib, referring to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim, did our Maghrib and broke our fast immediately after our Maghrib Salat. So therefore, it is very important for us to understand, excuse me, understand this issue and be educated. Let's see, somebody has a question. Okay, good. So now we come to back to the Eastern. So now Eastern redness, why people? Now Sayyid Sistani has a fatwa. He says if there were mountains and you were in desert and you did not know the time of that scientific time of the sunset, and you could not figure out the real head of the sunset goes down, you don't have any idea when the sun sets. Then he said it is wajib, not ihtiyati wajib. Then it is, if you don't know, if you cannot figure out that exact time of sunset, then it is wajib to wait for the Eastern redness. Okay? So that, but nowadays, we all have these timetables, and we have so many astronomical calculations indicating the sunset time. Okay, maybe some astronomical calculation, they have 30 seconds, 1 minute difference, maybe, because I was checking a lot of calculations, 1 minute. So we give 2-3 minutes after the sunset, after I know the real head goes down when, and then. And there is, I'm going to show you also how to find on a calculator, on a time, there's a website. We are going to do a practical session today, inshallah. So all of you can observe how can you check the sunset in your timetable. But always wait after 2-3 minutes or 4 minutes after the sunset, the timetable, the government's timetable tell you that this time. If you are referring to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim, this is not for the West, even in wherever you are, you can refer to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim, al-Tabatabai al-Najaf al-Ashraf, is the son-in-law of Sayyid Muhsin Hakim al-Tabatabai al-Marhum Marja' rahmatullah alayhi quddis sirra. So he allows, Sayyid Muhammad Rawhani used to allow as well, and therefore, so basically for Imam Ali Center, for sunset, same thing. They have measured they have kept like 4 or 5 minutes after the timetable in the sunset. I'm talking about sunset now, not Fajr. Fajr we are going to talk, but now sunset in Imam Ali Center's timetable, it has taken into consideration 4 or 5 minutes after the timetable of Swedish. You can see the Swedish newspaper what time the sun sets. So based on that, you can add 4 or 5 minutes, and you can see Imam Ali Center's timetable. They have already added that time. But double check. It's better always to be on the safe side, because you cannot break your fast unless you're sure that the sun has set. Okay, or you wait for the Eastern redness to disappear. So if you are not sure, wait for the Eastern redness. If you're not sure, wait for a few minutes until you are sure that the sun has disappeared from the horizon. Okay, so now this was about the sunset. Okay, now we come to the sun goes down, 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 down. The twilight disappears. This is the time of majority of Ahl Sunnah when they start Salatul Isha, when the Western redness disappears. When the Eastern redness disappears, and the Western redness, Western redness disappears, it's total dark. So they start Salatul Isha until the sun reaches 90 degrees here. See here, night, this 90 degrees. Then the sun starts to become 80, 70, 60, until it comes 20. Here is the dawn, the twilight. where the white thread and the dark thread appears. Okay, and then the sun rises. Okay, then the sun rises. So this is also the horizon. Now let's see more into this illustration. So the sun sets down. Okay, this is the horizon, and look at the yellow. It is under the line. That's the true sunset. But if the yellow was in the middle, okay, then it will not be a true sunset, because see, here it is the middle. Here the line is in the middle of the yellow. Here is in the line is the middle. Here the line is over the yellow. Here the line is before the yellow. Okay, so basically the twilight goes down and down. So here we have the civil twilight, then nautical twilight, and then astronomical twilight. Then we have night. Then we start back again. This is 18 degrees, okay? Astronomical twilight, astronomical dusk, they call it. And then this is this nautical, the navy and the sea captains of the ships, they have this very important. And then they have the civil twilight, when the headlights, they close. So where is our Fajr? Some countries, 18 degrees, they have Fajr Sadiq. Some countries, not 12, 12 is too late. So some countries, it is 16, and some of them, they do precaution 15. It's a very confusing situation, the Fajr, because the Sharia didn't define it said black and white. So these black and dark and darkness of the night and light and brightness of the day, they differ from country to country. Like the equator line, like East Africa. We asked there, East Africa, they said 18 degrees. In Iran, we have two organizations. One organization is Liwa of Agha Sistan in Iran, in Qom. They say 18 degrees. No, not Liwa. Agha Sistan is astronomical office. There's another astronomical institution, they say 16 degrees. So now what happens, that they have this imsak 18 degrees. Namaz-e-Fajr 16 degrees. So 18 degrees, you do imsak. When the sun rises above reaches 16, that's the time you pray Salat al-Fajr. So they do ihtiyat like that. So that means this imsak and Fajr. Because Ayatollah Sistani says, if you are doubting in Fajr, you can eat and drink. You don't have to. This imsak is not wajib. But if there is a strong confusion that Fajr could be 18 degrees and could be, still there's a doubt. So you can eat and drink, but it is a very strong precaution to stop it. Stop it. Like I think this is about 10 to 15 minutes before the 16. The time difference between 16 and 18 is about, like, let me see. I have done some stuff here. Okay, in Sweden, so basically it's about 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, between 10 to 15 minutes. Sometimes it's, and sometimes it increases, but in average, it is 10 minutes to 15 minutes. So sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's 15 minutes in same country, in same region. So it's better to stop eating and drinking on the imsak time, which is given to you by your maulanas of the region, okay, which is supposed to be 18 degrees. And Salatul Fajr, they pray on 16 when it really becomes very obvious that the white night and the white brightness of the night is obvious than the darkness of the night. Okay, now, so this is about the Fajr. So now in our Tawdih, in our book of law, they say Fajr-e-Sadiq and Fajr-e-Kadhib, Subuh-e-Sadiq, Subuh-e-Kadhib, false dawn and true dawn. So what is the difference? Some said that false dawn is like on 18 and true dawn is on 16. Okay, now in Canada, Sayyid Muhammad Ridwi did a research. He said that somewhere between 16 to 15 is our dawn. So there it's like more delay. So but in Fajr, the more you delay, the more you Salat al-Fajr, the more you are on a precautionary line. Okay, because if you offer on the edge, let's say Mamdu Kaka and Mamu Kaka and those Kaka, they have made this timetable before 20 years. They were not aware about these kind of technical things, okay? May Allah rest their souls in peace, but they have done amazing job for their time, and may Allah reward them. But maybe those Kakajans, because one community I went, I said, who made your timetable? He said, Kakajan. I said, not a scholar? No, apne to ola Kakajan se banawe chhe na, ye bow inexperienced hai. So that's why I said Kakajan. Then Kakajan in Urdu and Gujarati means uncle, okay? So there are some elders, some Maulanas are very busy, so these uncles, they dedicate their life and to do investigation, and they do fantastic jobs in some communities. Some communities, I've seen some sloppy jobs. So be careful, okay? We give benefit of doubt. We don't judge people unless we find out that there was some sloppy job done. So anyhow, so whatever happens, Ola Kakajan, if was trustworthy, is going to take the responsibility of the salat and the fasting of the people. So basically, your community rested an alim. In Arabic, we say, Khalli fi rukbatil alim, watla salim. You know what's this? It's not a khichdi or keema no saak. No, it's not biryani, chicken karai masala. It is what? Khalli fi rukbatil alim, watla salim. Alim of your community is responsible. Put it on the neck of the alim, خلي في رقبة العالم, رقبة, okay, of alim, واطلع salim, and get out safe, okay? So main thing is always discuss with your ulamas of your region, of your communities, put it on their shoulder, because they have wear amama, so they have to take the responsibility in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You see, it's not only majalis and imam jama'ah, no, these are serious issues. Somebody has to take responsibility of these issues. So every scholar is responsible in his community to do the investigation and verify these kind of things, they're okay or not. Because Allah will not hold Kakajan on the day of judgment. Allah will bring that alim of the community. What were you doing there? This Kakajan, he did his job, but I'm not going to blame him. He was not aware about this ahkam and sharia laws. You are the alim, you are the responsible of sharia. So what did you do? So it is the responsibility of every alim in every community to check the timetables and make sure that the work has been done properly. So it is a very important issue. Sometimes I see some communities, they have like 5, 6 alims, and the timetables has been done by dedicated community Mominin members. They are perfect. But the responsibility is on the alim, okay, not on them. It's the alim takes the responsibility. So therefore, so timetables, these, so there are variances in countries and cities. It's not a black and white. Now I'm telling you, in Qom, Office of Ayatollah Sistani Astronomical Department says 18 degrees for Iran. And Liwa, which is also in Qom, which is a more professional institute of astronomical findings, they say 16. So whenever you doubt, always delay your Salat al-Fajr. Don't pray before time. Because anyone who prays Salat al-Fajr before the time, or any Salat before the time, even unintentionally, even undeliberately, kiss your Salah goodbye. So Salah becomes invalid. Okay? So therefore, it is very important for us to make sure that our Salat is in time. Food, if you eat and drink between 18 and 16, if it's a doubtful time for you, Allah will not hold you accountable. Because there's a rule which is called istishab. Istishab. Okay? The fiqhi rule, general rule. What does that mean? Whatever you are sure of, if you doubt in its continuation, you can continue your certainty, your assurance, and delay the doubt unless you are sure. So if you are sure that it is night, and you don't know that Fajr happened or not, and there's a doubt, is it 18, is it 16, is it now 16, is it what? So you can still eat and drink. Ayatollah Sistani says clearly, because if you're doubting, once you are sure that the Fajr is there, then you stop, okay? Or stop before it a few minutes. But it's better to do ihtiyat strongly, especially in this time where there's a confusion between 18 and 16, okay, in one region. So it's very important for us to pray late, but not pray before in the doubtful time. And we can abstain from eating and drinking in the doubtful time. But even if you eat something, it's not a problem. If you find out, no, the time of Fajr has been risen, there's no big issue on that. Let me see. There's a question popping up. Okay, because some flights don't have sunset, or because of the time difference, once you reach sunset in later, so basically you have fasted for more than 24 hours. Okay, so Fajr in the Imam Ali, then we are going to talk about Imam Ali Center's Fajr, and then we have this, I'm going to talk about this fasting. Remind me, once we are done, I'll answer this question about the pilot and the plane issues, where you just stay 24 hours. So you are like living in Sweden or some northern areas. Okay, so now we have this yeah, so we now I'm going to show you, yeah, Fajr Sadiq and Fajr Kadhib. What is the Fajr Sadiq and Fajr Kadhib? Okay, so the definition of scholars is, have you seen foxtail? Somebody says, I've seen Fox News, but not foxtail. So foxtail, the tail of the fox, okay? Have you seen how it is? It's like a ponytail, okay? So ponytail. So Fajr Sadiq is like a flame kind of thing. A flame, a ponytail, okay? Picture with me a ponytail. So the light comes from the horizon like this, like a flame kind of thing. It's not horizontal, it's vertical. It's vertical, but it's like a flame. This is not a dawn, though it's a brightness. There is a brightness. The brightness is like this. Once the brightness starts to spread like this ponytail starts, the bulky edge starts to spread and spread and spread and become like this. That is your Fajr. That is your Fajr. But this light, like a ponytail light, I don't know, have you seen or not? Don't worry, I have some images I'm going to show you now. So because the curiosity killed the cat, and we don't want. Let's see this ponytail type. You see this is a ponytail type flame. So it's bulgier, and then it becomes narrowed down. This is Fajr Kadhib. It's a light came out, popped out from the horizon. See this one? This is like so this area is bulged. This starts spreading. I have another photo. This one is like the band. When the light becomes khaytul, brightness of the day, okay, and the darkness of the night. Okay, this is the sea level. This is the city. So this orange, and see this whiteness, and these are clouds. But behind the cloud, you can see the darkness. So this top all the way is dark brown, and this is white band. خيط الأبيض من الأسود. أبيض أسود. Okay, let's see. This is also a nice image where you can see this band. Whiteness, darkness, brightness, darkness. Here also, because of the cloud, you cannot see straight, but you can see the darkness, and you see behind the cloud, it's brightness. So this is the Fajr. Let's see some more. Here also, you can see this band, whiteness, but still here, still the light is not spread totally. Okay, so still it's the sun. So this is the cause of confusion. Okay, many times when people they say, oh, there is a band, but is the band all the way in the horizon or not? That's always the question. Now see, after some time, this is the situation where you have obvious brightness and obvious darkness. Let's see some more. Here also, whiteness, brightness, darkness. Brightness, darkness, though here are clouds, so you don't know where the darkness is, but white line is seriously obvious. And this is like a ponytail. This is a beautiful one. Okay. All the way in the top. So this is called al-Fajr al-Kadhib. So now this is the difference between Fajr al-Kadhib and Fajr al-Sadiq. Now, I don't have that much time left, so let me just show you a few things. So now, let me sum up. So now, we have sunset, we have sunrise. Sunset is issue. We said that when the sun goes down, this is where the scientific time is. The center is on the sea level of horizon, but for us, this is sunset, this is the night. But it is ihtiyat wajib to wait for the eastern redness, the redness which is in this area. Okay, this is the eastern redness. So this is ihtiyat wajib. However, for people, they don't want to stay this ihtiyat wajib, especially in northern countries and northern regions where there's confusion. The sunlight, the redness on the opposite side, or the eastern redness. So since Ayatollah Sistani says no, in the east, because the narration says east, so therefore just refer to Sayyid Muhammad Sa'id al-Hakim and just break, because this in the east takes like 40-50 minutes, and that's too much. The people are fasting 22 hours, and then 40 minutes they stay for this eastern redness. That's too much zulm and torture on the people. So therefore, this is basically the sunset. Okay, and then when the sun comes, the sun is coming down 90 degrees, coming up. It is now on 18 degrees. Some people, they say this is the ponytail disappears. Some people say no, on 16 the ponytail disappears. Okay, the foxtail disappears on 16. And then, so that's the time of Fajr, that's the time of stopping the fast. Though if you want to do ihtiyat between 18 and 16, that is strongly recommended ihtiyat, because it's a doubtful time, but Fajr might be. In your region, the ponytail might have disappeared on 18. So that astronomical dawn we said, okay? And then the sun rises, okay? So once the sun starts to rise, your Salat al-Fajr become qada. Not here, no, it starts to rise. So that's the sunrise. And here, they have mentioned the line is under the horizon. Now, let me go and quickly. So the dawn is 18 degrees below the horizon before it rises in most of the Middle Eastern African countries, according to their expert. Now, I'm not taking responsibility. According to their expert, I communicated with them in Dar es Salaam, and they told me that yes, it's 18 degrees, and Qom office confirms 18 degree, but then there's another Qom office, they say 16. So I think they have done this imsak time between 18 and 16. In Northern Europe, in normal days of the year, according to Leva Institute, Qom, Fajr is 16 horizon. So in here, normal days in Sweden, we keep it 16. And even if you pray on 15, that will be good. Delay your Fajr prayer, it's fine. Mullah Asghar, Rahmatullah alayhi, Marhum Mullah Asghar, his timetable is more late in Fajr. He's just taken the safe side. I think he's taken 15 degrees. Sayyid Muhammad Ridwi says it's between 15 and 16 in most of the time in Canada. So if you pray when the sun is 15 degrees, that is going to be good and good. Okay, delay your Fajr basically. This is prayer time conventions. This is an app. Look at the degrees of different organizations, Sunnis and Shias. Okay, Sunnis and Shias, different organization. So custom angle they have is 16 degrees Fajr. Okay, because opposite of Fajr is Salatul Isha. Okay, the horizon issue. 16 degree. Algerian ministry, Algeria is in Africa, 18 degree. This is some kind of Turkish, 18 degree. Egyptian, 19.5. Come on, Egypt is just beside Algeria. So maybe they're referring to the ponytail. You know the ponytail, 19.5. And this Egyptian General Authority, 20 degrees, come on. So that means there's too early Fajr. So I think they are just looking at this astronomical twilight which comes out like a ponytail because there's a light in the sky. Let's pray. Then they're not going to the band. And then there's this fixed Isha angle. Again, one of the Egyptian, 19.5. France, 15, like Mullah Asghar. France, some of them 18. Maybe these are our Sunni brothers. Islamic University of Karachi, Sunni brothers, 18. Malaysia, 20. I will not underestimate Malaysia because it's far east. So they might have, or they might be following like Egyptians in that the ponytail, the brightness in the sky. London, unspecified Islamic timetable. I know what does that mean, but they don't have kept anything. Islamic Singapore, 20. These also same like Singapore, Malaysia. Muslim World League, 18. Muslim de France, 12. These are very ihtiyati people, all the way pushed, because 12 is still down. It has not come up. So still, it's on the safe side. North America, 15. Some Turkish organization, 20. Same, I think the Egyptian and Malaysian and Singapore, they are looking at a different twilight. Shi'at Nashri, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Jafri, 16 degrees. Okay. Shi'at Nashri Jafri. Tunisian Ministry of Religious, 18. UAE, Emirates, Dubai people, 19.5. Okay. UAE General Authority of Islamic Affairs and then al Qura Makkah, 18.5. University of Tehran, 17.7. So this is like between everybody, between the Qom Ayatollah Sistani, 18, between Ayatollah the Liwa organization of the scholars, this Tehran is 17.7. So you can't, in Iran, Tehran, Qom, or in Qom, you can't have one Fajr 18 and one Fajr 16. So there must be some issue here that these people are looking in the beginning of the light. Those people are looking at whenever that band is clear. Remember, this band sometimes is confusing. So they have taken Tehran, University of Tehran is an astronomical scientific institute. So they must have pinpoint exactly when the band is there. 17.7. It can't be Qom, Tehran, they're all side by side. How can the three scientific observatories, I'm saying, they have three differences. So it seems the Agha Sistani office, they say once the light starts, it's 18. Liwa double checks. It's clear, okay, whiteness and darkness. Tehran, I think because they have so many sophisticated equipments and geniusness, the pinpoint, this is the exact time of dawn. Anyhow, just giving you an idea, catch your Maulanas there. I'm not in Nairobi now, so don't catch me. They have Sheikh Zuhair and Sheikh other shuyukhs there, mashallah, Sheikh Zuhair and Sheikh Samoja. Just catch them and check did you double check these times or not? Because now I'm not Nairobi. So yes, I will stop here because the time is done. I'll stop here and just go to some practical thing. I told you that, see, this is the website, timedate.com. I'm going to show you how to check the degrees of the sun. And they have taken their readings from NASA. So I communicated with this organization. They're in Norway, and they have taken from the NASA, and I took the NASA timetable from Stockholm University for the entire year. And for any region of the world, you can just put the degrees, and the whole sunset from minute to minute, the movement will come. But let your Maulana communicate with me in these things. But this one, Norway people, they have simplified the thing. So I'm going to just do an experiment. So let's see here. So the sunset. So this is the sunrise. The sun goes high, 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 high up, and then comes down. So on the left-hand side here, you will see sunset. And the right hand, is, I'm sorry, on the right hand sunset, because we want to check the Fajr. On the left hand side, we are going to check the Fajr issue. Okay, we are going to check the Fajr issue here. So we need to see the sunrise in the horizon. So you put the cursor on the sun and you move it degree wise until you see what time you have the sun 18 degrees and what time the sun you have 16 degrees. Okay, see the degree is shown here, altitude -12. Okay, so this I'm going to do it practically now, but just again, this is our sunset, this is our sunrise. We want to check the Fajr before the sunrise, so we are going to focus here and keep another eye here to check the degree, and this is the time. Okay, put your eye here, we are going to move the sun here, and we are going to put the eye here in these two things, degree and time. Ready? Okay, let me, where's the website? Let me share you the website. Bear with me, I'm just opening the website. So, and then I will share with you. Where is my page? Okay. Here is my web page. Let's open this one. Save. Okay. I'm going to also, it's nice that if you would like to play with the website, I'm going to send you the link here. Yeah, Imsak and Fajr. If you know exactly when is the Fajr, pinpoint, it's the same Imsak. There's no special Imsak time. Oh, it went to, yeah, now it's sent to everyone. So I'm sending you the link, okay? This is the link which I'm going to go now, and I'm going to share you the link. Okay, so we have here time and date. Yes, now I'm going to share you the link. Share the screen and share the link. Okay. Now, this is how the website looked like. Can you see the web page? Hello?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, so you see the sun and moon calculator. Okay, this, so you will go to the sun calculator. And then let's say Nairobi. So this is Nairobi's timetable. Now look at this page, it shows you the sun graph, the lightness. Now this is the whole month's timetable. Now today is 21st. Let's take 21st April. Okay, so now this is our sun. Okay, can you see the sun? Can you see the movement of the sun? Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. I want to make sure that you guys are following. Now look at the right side. I'm moving the sun, so you can move the sun. What is happening on the left side on the time and the altitude? The sun is coming down. Look at the right side. Look at the right side on the time and the altitude. What is happening? It's coming down, correct?
Yeah, it's coming down.
So now look at the 18 degrees when it, and I'm sorry, it's coming up. Fajr is happening. Fajr is, because before this is before sunrise. What time is 18 degrees? Tell me.
5 o'clock and 17 minutes.
Okay, so that is 18 degrees when so if your timetable is based on 18 degrees, you will have this Fajr 5:17 and give like extra 2 minutes ihtiyat, you see. So like you might have 5:20, something like that. And then those who are checking 16 degrees, their Fajr will be 5:20. So let's check the difference between 18 and 16. What time is 18?
5:17.
What time is 16?
Oh, 5:28. It's 11 minutes difference.
11 minutes different, correct?
Yeah.
So that is the imsak ihtiyat time if you want to do. Double check your timetable and be safe. If you want to do ihtiyat, check out and check with the scholars there what degrees they have based upon. So that's it. There's no rocket science here. That is how you define your Fajr degrees and the time of the degree.
Okay, Sheikh,
Yes.
in our timetable, imsak at 5:01,
Wow. They must be
and
following.
namaz, the Subh Sadiq is 5:21.
Okay, let me go. So let me check 5:21. What is it? 5:21. Yeah, that's
Yes.
17. That means they took 1 minute after. So that is good.
Okay.
But what was the 5:01?
Imsak time.
Yeah, that's about Egyptians 20 degrees, remember? Because Egyptians are in Africa. So basically, they are looking at this ponytail kind of thing. Might be starting Fajr-e-Kadhib, Subh-e-Kadhib, false dawn at that time. But all that time you don't have to, because 18 degree is the main time here. So before 18 degrees, you can eat and drink. That is all ponytail time. This is according to the expert in Dar es Salaam. There's a committee of experts, they told me. And Sheikh Alidina has supervised there as well. He sat with the committee. When I was there, I sat with the committee. So it was double checked that they have done their homework properly. So they took 18 degree, and then that's it in Africa. So 60. So that means if 5:21, that means on 17 degrees they pray. So it's fine. It's fine. You see. Okay, now the time is done, and I have to now take one question here. About, I've sent you the link. So the question was about someone traveling. First, let me just, okay, so let me end this recording with saying, wa sallallahu ala Muhammad wa alihi tayyibin at-tahirin.